Hi everyone, we are again beginning another week. It's the second week after the summer vacation. Let us continue with our topic, the energy resources. So today's main discussion is beginning with the non-conventional source of energy. Non-conventional sources of energy, they meet the growing demands of energy. India and most of the countries, they need lots of energy, and obviously the sources of energy is limited, and to meet the growing demands of energy, non-conventional sources of energy is met. They are renewable sources of energy. That's a very positive point. Economically, they are more beneficial. This is the alternative sources of power or energy supply to solve energy crisis. These kinds of energy can be generated in the rural areas too. Energy can be generated at low cost due to the free supply of raw materials such as water, air, sunlight, etc. These raw materials need not to buy. They are God given, nature given, free gifts. So we have to just simply make use of them, and that is why it is of low cost. They are mostly pollution free. Energy like biogas can also solve another environmental problem, that is called waste management. And the first non-conventional sources of energy, we are discussing about the solar energy. Sun is the ultimate source of energy for all energy, but for this especially. Energy is transmitted from the sun in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which you have studied in standards 9. It can be converted into thermal energy. Solar energy can be converted into thermal energy. Of course, the whole process is under the plant. It works on photovoltaic or the solar cells. Common uses of solar energy, normally we use for the solar cooker, solar water heater, or in the village areas or even some rural remote areas, they mainly use the solar energy to make the light burning either on the street or some special parts. The total solar energy generated in India till now is 6,742 megawatt. So let us continue with the discussion of some basic infos regarding the solar energy. Advantages of solar energy. Solar energy is renewable. It is cost effective. That means cost is quite low as the sun's rays are free. Solar energy is eco-friendly. That means it does not do much pollution. It requires very little maintenance, can meet our rural needs of energy. It is cheaper in the long run because initial installment of various machineries requirements may be costly, but in the long run it is cheaper. No power grid is required. Disadvantages of solar energy. It is very much, rather 100% it is dependent on the sun's light. Therefore, it can be harnessed only and only if the sun is bright. It is very difficult to generate power during rainy seasons or when the sun remains hidden behind the clouds. Generated energy capacity is comparatively quite low and mostly used for domestic purposes or in the place where the requirement of the energy is very little. Our next resources of energy is wind energy. Wind energy. Electricity is produced by the rotation of the turbines caused by the wind forces. Mostly it is installed in the coastal regions in India, obviously the Maharashtra, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is the leading wind power state. India has the target to produce around 60,000 megawatt wind energy by the end of year 2022. What are the advantages of wind energy? Well, wind energy, it is exhaustible. Inexhaustible means renewable resource of energy. It is cost effective as wind available freely. It is beneficial in the long run as it has expenses at the time of installment only, and maintenance cost is sometimes quite low. It does not occupy much area of land, and obviously the rural or remote regions benefit a lot. Just like the solar energy, wind energy also have some disadvantages. Wind energy cannot be reliable so much as the speed of the wind isn't constant. So very much the power energy which will be generated is depending on the speed of the wind, which is not constant. Sometimes more, sometimes less, sometimes no wind at all. So no wind, no movement of the turbine, no generation of the wind energy. The turbines do not produce same amount of electricity at all the time. Wind energy cannot be harvested on a large scale. Now, there is a point to be noted that in spite of having a lot of coastal regions, Odisha hasn't developed the wind energy capacity. Why? Because this state, Odisha, has a huge coal reserves which is a boon to the thermal power. Our next topic is tidal energy, means use of the waves or the current of the water in the sea or the bay or the gulf. It is the electricity produced by the capturing tidal water and running hydro turbines. India has the potential to produce a good amount of tidal energy because of its huge coastal regions. However, it hasn't developed much. Mainly the Gulf of Kutch, the Gulf of Khambat in Gujarat have the maximum capacity to produce the tidal energy. The regions that produce tidal energy also are the delta regions of Sundarbans, Kaveri and Godavari in the south. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of tidal energy? Advantages. It is a renewable resource of energy. It is also eco-friendly and doesn't create any pollution at all. Its efficiency rate is higher, which is nearly 80%. Comparatively cheaper as tidal water as the main raw material is free, does not require any fuel to run. It is profitable in the long run. You can concentrate and you can see that in most of the cases we are saying almost the same point. Whether it is solar energy, wind energy or tidal energy, advantages are more or less in the same line. Similarly, the advantages of tidal energy will be intensity of sea waves or tides is quite unpredictable, as the wind speed is unpredictable, as the supply of the sunlight is unpredictable. Similarly, since it is all nature is giving no raw material, you have to depend on the nature. However, we have to wait. We have to wait. The day comes when the tide is there, when the sun is there, when the wind is there. Anyhow, this is of course at a disadvantage because we are depending mainly on the raw material which is nature supplied free of cost. This type of energy can be harnessed only in the coastal areas. You cannot have in the middle of the country. No, you cannot say expect that in Delhi we will have it, because why it is the coastal? Because in the coastal areas the tidal we need the tide, we need the waves, we need the current of sea water. Therefore it is mainly in the harnessed in the coastal areas. The actual generation period is rather of a short duration, as it can be harnessed only with the occurrence of the tides, whether it is high tide or low tide. When the saturation time, that means between the high tide and low tide, there comes a time when the water doesn't move. So actual movement is maybe just 4 to 5 hours in the whichever duration, because you know there are twice tides happen in the east with the interval of 12 hours. So maybe just 5 to 6 hours in the first half and just 5 to 6 hours in the second half. Constantly, no. For that matter, wind can be constantly for day and night 24 hours, whereas sunlight is only during the daytime. So there are some disadvantages for a specific what is called energy resource. It cannot be installed in the regions where the sea is frozen or tides are weak. Obviously, tidal energy depends on tides. If the tide is strong, then we get more energy. Transmission of this energy is expensive as the power is needed to be supplied from the coastal regions to the interior of the state. Next topic we shall go with, I think in standard 9 you have come to this term called geothermal sources of energy. Geothermal. Energy here harnessed by making use of the hot springs or the geysers. Steam is formed due to the fission of the radioactive materials present in the Earth's core, due to which the materials, the liquids, the water inside the core becomes warm or hot. That hot water, when it comes out, and when you harness that heat and convert them to electricity or some form of energy, that is known as geothermal power or energy. In India, we have got the most famous geothermal energy spot is known as Bakreshwar, that is in West Bengal, Tata Pani in Chhattisgarh, and Fuga Valley in Jammu and Kashmir. Are there some advantages of geothermal energy? Surely we have, because it is renewable source of energy. It is obviously, it is comparatively at low cost, because again the raw material as hot spring water is absolutely free. Eco-friendly, there is no pollution or very little pollution, can be used directly for cooking or heating homes. It is cost effective as the raw material or hot water is absolutely free. But there are some disadvantages too, like very few sites have the potential of generating geothermal energy. Most of the sites are far from the locality, so the transmission cost is higher. They are totally dependent on the supply of the hot water, which is not always reliable. Our next non-conventional source of energy is biogas. One thing keep in mind, biogas is possible mostly in the rural sectors, because we need lots of biogas raw materials. Mainly they are cow dung, etc. Biogas harnessed mainly from the fermentation of the waste products. It refers to a mixture of gases such as methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, etc. etc. Biogas is used mainly as fuel for cooking. Obviously, in the villages, cow dung is mainly used to produce gobar gas. Now, what are the advantages of biogas? It is a renewable source of energy. It is eco-friendly, very less pollutant. It helps to make use of waste materials. It is relatively much cheaper. You can expect that gobar is got free of cost. It reduces the pressure of using firewood for cooking. This also has some disadvantages. The cost of the biogas plant is high. You know why? Because the initial mechanism, machineries, or the building of chamber, etc., in the village is quite high. Because for villagers, they cannot afford to make this so easily, and that's why in India it has not really gave a boon to the alternatives resources of energy, because it is mainly will be done by the villagers, and villagers they cannot afford to invest so much of money to make biogas. It is continuous supply of biomass, sometimes not possible. Biogas gives dirty smells, that also they say there is no pollution, they say, but still biogas gives some kind of dirty smells people do not like. And there are some people do not like to use the biogas as the substitute for other kind of cooking gas such as LPG gas, and other things are now easily accessible. Now we shall discuss about today's last sources of energy, that is the nuclear power. Nuclear power, it's a powerful energy generated during a nuclear reaction by change in the nucleus of an atom. The main raw materials, I repeat, the main raw materials which generate nuclear power are uranium, they are mainly got from Jharkhand, Himachal Pradesh and UP. Thorium got mainly from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Plutonium or beryllium mainly got from Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. India has her nuclear power plant in Tarapur. I repeat, Tarapur. Tarapur near Mumbai. Nuclear power is the fourth largest source of electricity in India, so we must be proud of it. Now, how it happens and how the nuclear power is generated. Two processes or two methods are there. Science students, I mean we are all science students now, till standard 10 you have to know your science and physics quite well. So in the physics you will come to know that nuclear power energy is generated under these two processes. One is nuclear fission, the other one is nuclear fusion. One is fission, the other is fusion. So nuclear fission, this one we are discussing now. When a nucleus splits, means broken into smaller nuclei or smaller parts, during that time a reaction, a huge amount of heat energy is produced. This heat is converted to generate electricity, that is nuclear fission. Now, nuclear fusion. In this process, two or more smaller elements or nuclei combine together to form a bigger or heavier element and release a large amount of energy. So both the time of breaking and the time of combining, both the time the energy is generated. So this is how the nuclear fission and nuclear fission both happens. Now here are some of the advantages and disadvantages. Okay, advantages and disadvantages of nuclear energy. So are there any advantages of nuclear energy? Well, it has got advantages as well as disadvantages. Advantages: this type of the process of production of energies requirement of raw materials is quite less in amount required. Very less amount is required. One example, just 28 gram of uranium can produce the energy which can be obtained after burning 100 metric ton of coal. Can you imagine? Raw material can be transported conveniently to far off places as the requirement is very less, very little amount of you have to transfer from one place to another. It is used in treating various kind of dreadful diseases nowadays. Nuclear energy, nuclear materials like uranium, thorium, all these things are used in the treating the diseases. Obviously there are some disadvantages, although it is not in the chart, but I would say first of all they are very dangerous, very dangerous. It is conventional or a non-renewable source of energy. Once it is used, it is ended. It can cause radioactive pollution in all spheres. Dangerous. Discharge cooling water causes thermal pollution. It causes deforestation and loss of flora and fauna because all these residue is obviously poisonous. Leakage of radioactivity can be very fatal. You must be aware of that. I think last year or 1 year before, there was a leakage in Japan from the nuclear power source. So with this, dear children of 10th standard, we have come to the today's lesson. Study well, keep well, stay home, stay safe.